get that Hand of Midas, get to that level 20, and also have those items. Because as we've seen, the game did kind of slow down in the mid game. Like even the early game wasn't as impactful for both of these teams, where like most of the time it was just farm fest.
So are the wards going to be placed in the same spots starting this game off? At least for DogChamp it is. That is the same exact ward they placed in game number 1.
Tomato making an adjustment, going for Orb of
They're
Venom.
walking up on the high ground. That is dangerous. Sleight of fist, but I say dangerous from DogChamp, and it's first blood for speed. And then Whitemon eventually gets Moose.
Moose died to Maledict plus Blood Grenade. It seems like Whitemon will be running back to base. I think in this situation it's much better if you get Paralyzing Cask. You have stun, you have 2 bounces on it, but seems like he has a different opinion on it, and we talked about it, that Anti-Mage is going for Orb of Venom, so some extra slow as well coming out in the laning stage. This time around for speed, he's the one who got first blood, so we'll get much faster to his Ring of Health, just 200 gold away from it.
That's going to be a fast Ring of Health. See how the lane goes. We saw last time when they were able to get the Maledict and the right clicks coming in. They were enough to get a kill in this lane, but right now it's just Nether Blast, so like Moose is super susceptible, right?
This pleases me to no end.
He gets hit with like a Maledict and a Blood Grenade and a couple right clicks from Anti-Mage.
Let's see how much farm Tomato is gonna be able to get in this game. In the previous one, really, really good timings. Magic Wand, Power Treads, Battle Fury 12 minutes into the game. Our observer, Scriff, does love Blood Grenade, seems like more than I do. I'm one of the biggest fans of the item right now.
Oh, he's trying to drop the item.
Yeah, he's trying to use it.
Oh, he's trying to throw them. Oh, okay. And, if you try harder, and have to be quicker than that. Do you have 75 health to give up, Scriff?
It's a really good item.
Yes. I like just the mouse movement. Yes.
It's 50 HP as well. And then if you feel like you're dying, you're going to get the return kill. Slow is a lot. It's 15%. It's like almost 50% if you round it up.
Yeah, we're just rounding up numbers here. You know, for someone who rounds up their numbers so much, you do give me a lot of flack for saying, oh, he's almost got an item at 1,000 gold away.
I said he almost has a battle. This is like way too impactful. I think we gotta get on the same level when we talk about rounding up the numbers.
5,000 damage and 10,000 damage. That's just a lot more impact. You did that the other day.
No, the other day it was like 6,000 damage, and I said 10,000.
It was 4,500.
Okay, we don't have to get into details.
Semantics? Yes, I know.
If I say 6,000, you gotta back me up.
All right, fine.
It was 4.5k.
Next kill, you'll see how much I'll back you up. I got you. Did they get Maledict? No, they just threw a Blood Grenade at Moose. That was it. That's a wasted Blood Grenade.
It was Scriff who actually used it. Kind of forced Whitemon to pop it out. And, mid lane, not gonna be the most fun lane to watch. 2 spirits battling it out. And I noticed that Whitemon does love to have 2 blood grenades. Is bringing another one in this bottom lane and the branch. 9 stick charges on him already. Level 2. Gets that food restoration immediately.
I'd love to see the cask, but I guess it is what it is, right? It was Nether Ward. All right. We'll see how much that really does for him, I guess. But speed's going to be out of mana pretty quickly. These right clicks, and that's what stopped him from being able to.
And now he's even more slowed.
Devours out, and he's just going to die here. That's that. We saw the same thing last game, where he just ran down the Doom.
As soon as Pagnov is out of mana, they start to play a little bit more aggressive. And Tomato, he's bringing something on the courier. It's going to be full Orb of Corrosion. Magic Stick as well. This time around, no early cornucopia.
You see the damage in the fight recap? 556 damage from Anti-Mage. That's almost 10,000 damage.
And 1,000 damage from Witch Doctor. That's a big
100K. I mean, that is just numbers that are out of control. I'm just rounding up, dude. I'm sorry, I had to do it to you. 49 taking some damage here, but goes to the cogs and the battery assault. Or trying to land an arrow. Not a lot of mana here for DNM. An arrow would certainly put him in harm's way. Just one that landed. Hell, an arrow on either of these guys right now could be dreadful for them.
Doesn't have a setup for it.
Oh.
We'll use it, get the range creep in this top lane. Mid lane, pretty even in terms of CS as expected. Both heroes having some kind of a shield. Tomato jumping in very aggressively in the bottom. Gonna soak up some of the damage. Whitemon, 2 points in Voodoo Restoration. Trying to heal him up as much as he can.
Oh, now he's got the mana for Maledict, so he can just throw that out and throw a Blood Grenade if he chose to do so. And there's the Maledict. Whitemon threw the Blood Grenade and the right clicks with the Maledict. You gotta expect that he's gonna pop in a second.
He's about to pop.
And he dies to the Voodoo Restoration, I believe, on the last tick there of death. And
Voodoo Restoration, like that was a change that I think a lot of people, like it took me, because I don't know, I read it and forgot about it when it was first introduced into the game, where I'm like, wait, what? It deals damage?
Yeah, and then you get a Radiance.
Now it's gonna be much more difficult to kill. Speed in this bottom lane does have Vanguard finished. Moose. We'll get
Not really
bounty.
providing as much in the bottom lane as this is Pugna.
Yeah.
It's not as competitive a lane. It kind of worries me because Tomato got a pretty quick Battle Fury in the first game, and if it goes better this time around, which it might right here, need to be careful though. Level 2 in the Nether Blast is a good enough deterrent.
This time around, Tomato will have an earlier point in Counterspell to have a little bit more magic resistance. Still CSing nicely, sitting on 30. Same goes for DNM on Medusa, 28.
He's getting that cornucopia. And now he's got that extra health and mana regen.
What is
The damage.
cornucopia besides description of a new item?
So I thought a cornucopia was the thing that helped all the like fruit and squash and stuff. The thing that you have on the table at Thanksgiving. As Moose dies there to Tomato.
These are some kind of two rings together. Oh, he's
Yeah.
level 5 still on Brile.
Uh-oh, and he is gonna slight and not survive, but at least a trade on the red too.
Dyer played out this so nicely. They used glyphs so that he couldn't get level 6. In the end, Void Spirit, he collects the XP, but nicely done by them. Understood what he tried to do there. Use Slight to maybe get level 6, killing one of the creeps.
Blink
and then
in for
use
Tomato.
Remnant to try to get out of the trouble.
Tomato? He blinked into that, and now Voodoo Restoration. Ooh. That was close. Jeez. And this time he went to an Orb of Corrosion. So
An
it's not
extra
the Treads
HP
Wand Battle Fury.
from Fluffy Hat, saving him. He's gonna blink
And
in
blinking
now.
in again. And Moose has enough for another Nether Blast. It'll do some damage. They want to stick on to speed and try and get the kill with this Maledict. Another Nether Blast, and now they turn their attention onto Moose. They give up on speed, and the right clicks on a Moose. It's emptying their mana tank, but not getting the kills.
Speed pop to Mango to try to get away. Use that Scorched Earth, so some extra movement speed. And to try to deal damage while he's running, first rotation from Red 2. Let's see if he can get something done. Oh, speed. Without Maledict on, they don't have enough to kill him. Like, he's just way too tanky with Vanguard.
Speaking of Maledict, speaking of damage, Whitemon gonna die here as the Astral Step comes in, and, well, they have 3 heroes bottom to take out that Witch Doctor, but their tier 1 mid starting to take a good amount of damage.
Orb of Corrosion from Member Spirit coming in handy. Ahri also making a rotation to the mid lane. Usually you don't see Embers being able to pressure the tower early on as this one. And again, the game is relatively slow. Bryle's bottle will be refilled. Rune spawning in a couple of seconds. It's gonna be bottom. Illusion for Red 2.
No Maledict again, so he's just emptying the mana tank there. Truthfully, in 7.33, I thought they were going to patch it so you couldn't pass over the bottle to refill it like that.
I think that's fine. I think this is okay, considering like the map is bigger, so you don't see it happen too often. There are other objectives to be taken on the map. Stacking, taking Lotuses, going for XP runes 7 minutes into the game. Kasane is farming some big stacks that he made for himself in the triangle, while Ahri is collecting XP on the top.
Always nice to get that extra little bit, especially if they can get level 6 pretty quickly and use that Moonlight Shadow to move around the map. Does Orb of Corrosion, and now he's also got himself a Spark of Courage, does this signify maybe an anti-mage that wants to fight earlier?
No, he would go for Vanguard if he wanted to fight.
Okay. But does it give him the opportunity at all to maybe get involved if he's got Mana Void to just kind of jump in?
Sure, if there's a fight, he will join if it's close to him. Maybe if he sees an opportunity for a TP rotation. If they overstep their boundaries, let's say they dive underneath the tower, he's going to be joining with the TP for sure.
A little bit of a lead here for DogChamp. Top 3 in the net worth are all on their side, too.
Pretty similar as game 1.
Red 2. A-okay. Gotta wonder, Tomato, what was the Battle Fury timing? 14 minutes?
It was 12 minutes last time.
Aether Remnant? Red 2, Searing Chains, Maledict, and now the damage. Dissimulate, and the ulti, that actually goes towards Moose. They pick up a double damage on Red 2. And that last tick of the Maledict, not even going to be needed as they get the kill there with the Sleight of Fist.
Bryle manages to secure the kill. TP's back. We'll come back onto Remnant. Bloody 9. Again, slightly under-leveled for this stage of the game. He's level 5.
Going right in. Knows the cogs are going to be placed down to stop Bryle, so that sets up the arrow, and that means there's another kill here for Bryle.
Supports on side of TSM, again, hitting level 6 before those two on side of DogChamp. Both are level 5. On Pagana, I would say it's not as impactful as it is on Clockwork, who can move across the map and gank. These are also not the easiest heroes to gank.
Jump in for the anti-mage. War Stomp and a kill. With the double damage, Tomato's just dead. Big kill.
This is where you wish you didn't kill Void Spirit, because after he respawned, he came to the bottom lane and killed your carry. It sounds stupid, but if you actually didn't kill him, he would probably not be at this time, at this part of the map.
Fair, but then Bryle wouldn't have gotten that second kill as well, and all of a sudden Bryle's now, close to that Maelstrom. And he's heading bottom. They also they scouted that stack, so they might take that in a little bit. Moonlight Shadow is used as they start to rotate towards bot. Whitemon, he's got level 6, so he does have that ult, but they don't have Paralyzing Cask. Who can they catch? Maybe this Doom, and yeah, he's trying to farm, so Speed's potentially just caught. War Stomp, Searing Chains, arrow misses, but they go to the Maledict. They've got the ult, and Speed is gonna die. It's Whitemon who gets credit for that kill.
He's worth a lot of gold. 6,000 net worth. Whitemon getting 300 plus. And team also getting a big chunk of gold.
And then they triangled out that stack that they made, so I think they want to take that too. Ooh, top lane, and Moose dying to Kasane. Red 2, not much he can do. He'll get a boar, but that's kind of boring.
They just smoked to get killed solo by enemy Beastmaster. This is nicely done by Kasane. Immediately understands that if I go on Pugna, use Roar, I'm going to have enough damage to take him out. And these are the stacks that you talked about. They got invaded. Ancient stacked, a little bit too difficult to kill at the moment. Maybe if Anti-Mage had Battle Fury, he could be the one getting in there and stealing it. But this time around, Tomato having a bit of a worse game. Still going to be an okay timing for Battle Fury. It's like 14 and a half, 15 minutes. Not too bad.
The thing is, you know, they could, if they get this Battle Fury and maybe they have Kasane or a +1 with the Anti-Mage, they can move over and take that Ancient stack too. But they're going to use a smoke, head towards top, try to clear out the tower. DNM's already TPing out and going towards mid, because I think they know those stacks are kind of threatened.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're also going to be free to take a tier 1 mid. Witch Doctor take? No, he hasn't taken a value point in the cast. Hook shot. Everything at the Witch Doctor. He'll end up dead, but the damage on a Bloody 9. Now in the cogs. Life Drain keeping him alive. Bryle's in trouble. He's forced to Remnant away, but a Sleight of Fist will finally get that kill. This tower's still not dead. DNM from behind is now getting taken by Tomato. Stone Gaze, Kasane, Moonlight Shadows used. And they'll go the other direction as they're going to look over for the Void Spirit, but they miss the arrow. Can they get him out of mana? Aether Remnant lands, and the Resonant Pulse shield is gone. So they'll leap forward, they'll look for the Mana Void, they'll get the kill with the Star Storm. Second shot on Red 2. They at least get that, but they still don't get DNM.
Looking at the trade, pretty even in terms of gold.
A lot of damage done by the Void Spirit.
Yeah, in favor of DogChamp. But Void Spirit, he's getting the levels. He's getting the farm. Echo Saber has been completed. Going into Manta style next. I think the big one is removing Searing Chain, so he can't be really killed. Other than, I don't know, some surprise roar. If he gets chained, tries to go for an arrow. Same goes for the previous game. Witch Doctor this time around. Whitemon going for Voodoo Restoration Maledict build. Going into Pavis. A lot of the same items as we've seen in the previous game. Speed. Octarine Core has been finished. Going into what seems to be Blink Dagger next, and then BKB. Because if he wanted to buy Boots of Travel, would have probably already bought it.
Right. He's got his Boots of Travel locked up at the moment from the Disassemble. Get into that Octarine Core. Top lane. Kasane. Use that Primal Roar. He'll go for Bloody 9. Hook shot.
Boars.
Oh! Still gonna die. It is a boar right click that did 104 physical damage. That was the final shot. There was a full second as he hook shotted away from it and tried to survive between that last shot and the one prior. So Medusa's getting a lot of farm. The difference before was the Battle Fury Anti-Mage was sticking with the Medusa, if not passing it prior.
This time around, DogChamp, they have much better chances of winning it because Medusa will hit an earlier timing. In the previous game, Anti-Mage almost had like Manta style at this point of the game. While DNM will have Butterfly in the next 2 minutes if he continues to farm at this pace.
So this is not going to be Anti-Mage really getting ahead like the last game. But Tomato still going to farm the outer ring. You've got Kasane, who's going Helm of the Overlord again. Is that what's flying out right now? Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's being delivered.
Recipe. So he'll have that. Maybe they could push off that. They've already got the Maelstrom on Ember, but for the other side, like, Void Spirit's got a decent amount of farm, and so does this Doom. Like you said, he's got the Octarine Core. He's got the Blink Dagger now, too. And he's going into the BKB. A lot of gold for this Doom. So What does DogChamp have to do to see this game turn into a victory?
As soon as they pick up Butterfly on Medusa, I think they have decent amount of sustain as well. Try to smoke up. This is going to be like 20 minutes, closer to 20 minutes. They don't necessarily need to smoke immediately, but try to go for Roche on Radiant's side 20 minutes into the game. But yeah, TSM, they have other plans.
They want to go for it now. This is an early Roche.
I don't think this is going to get contested.
Corrosion and arrow as well that you can throw into the pit. Bloody Nine might just be dead. Yeah, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Arrow with the Maledict. I don't know if that ult was necessary because now he can come over and he still has hook shot. They'll use the Doom. It's onto the Mirana. They'll get the kill onto both with that Astral Step. And they got themselves the Aegis into the hands of Tomato, but now they got to get out of here. Staying in the pit, staying and hiding. Nobody's spotting him, and he blinks north.
Tomato was thinking about potentially jumping in, but the rest of the team needed to fall back after 2 supports died.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible trade, right?
Yeah, not too bad of a trade for DogChamp. They lose Roshan, didn't scout it on time. Medusa, I still feel that they could be taking these fights as soon as Medusa gets Butterfly completed.
Simulate.
Whitemon gotta deny.
Another ward is down, but Moo's on the run. Tomato coming in, blinking, and they have got a sentry right there, actually waiting for him. Sentry, unfortunately, doesn't see the obs that's right there, but TSM now, you know, they get another kill. They start to regroup. They could go for the top tier 2 and potentially take an outpost afterwards.
Looking at Dota Plus win probability, 64% in favor of TSM. Gaben loves Medusa when she plays against Anti-Mage. He knows that these are some really tough games to win. Medusa always, like, you need to focus the other heroes. You don't necessarily need to go for Medusa because there could be like Glimmer Cape, Force Staff, the Cripify, Life Drain, turnaround play, so they can kill these supports, some easier targets, and then focus Medusa down. Bloody Nine in trouble again, or is he?
You know, Astral Step and the Life Drain. He's not getting out of this one because Sonic caught. So Red 2's got himself a killing spree. He's been able to use his early high damage to clean up some of these heroes. And Anti-Mage starting to make his way up there and actually catching up to this Medusa. But a 3K lead for DogChamp. The rest of the team not exactly keeping up their end of the bargain, right?
Yeah. Also, DNM this time around did not die for 20 minutes compared to the previous game. He's level 16, very high level compared to Anti-Mage, she's 17. Anti-Mage's level 13.
Do we see him right there? He's on the edge of that ward. And they know he's got Stone Gaze. It's not an easy kill to get. And there is a tier 1 to TP to. They've smoked up and they're heading through mid. This Medusa's TPing to the outpost, so they'll come up onto the high ground. They'll see this Beastmaster and another Astral Step, Infernal Blade. They've got the Aether Remnant, Life Drain starting to run, but eventually dying to speed. Anti-Mage is nearby. They're going to Remnant in. They'll go to the Sleight of Fist. They'll pop the Illusion Rune and throw the Doom on the Ember. Hook shot from the left side. Stone Gaze, and Ember's in some trouble. So is this Anti-Mage. They've got an Aegis, but it's not going to matter with your Ember already dead. So he needs to get out. The War Stomp is on the money. Tomato with the Manta goes to the Mana Void, blinks away, gets in and out for a moment. And Tomato's going to survive here.
Whew. We'll pick up Bounty Rune also on the way out. And these fights are not looking too good for TSM. Like, Anti-Mage still doesn't feel comfortable coming into a fight early on and soaking up the damage coming up from Medusa. For a moment, I thought that there's not going to be enough in terms of lockdown after Doom was used on Ember, but Bloody Nine manages to find an angle and gets a nice hook shot, blocking them off. Also, this time around, Red 2 having a much better game. Like in the previous game,
He's out
that
of
Prophet
control.
needed to heavily commit to a fight. But this time around, level 15, Manta
they're
style,
following his
Echo
courier.
Saber.
Oh, hook shot at the edge of the Twin Gate. Forced to blink. Going south. Man, Medusa's there to cut off his retreat, but you still have this bridge that you can just kind of walk over. So not a full cutoff.
It definitely feels like TSM needs to have another set of items. Anti-Mage. Keeping up with Medusa. 1k gold lead for her in terms of net worth. But they need to go for these other heroes. Problem is, Red is causing a lot of issues. Jumping in. If they don't get the roar off on him, he's going to be very slippery to catch.
Ooh, they're going for the Tormentor. They could catch these heroes really low. They need to be careful.
This
They're
is a
coming around. The
risky move.
smoke breaks. The Tormentor's low. Whitemon is not going to get it, but they'll go in with the ulti and try to at least get moves. They've got themselves that. They'll throw the Dragon forward. Kasane over to the side with the axes. The Searing Chains into the Manta. DNM over to the side. They go to the Doom again onto this Ember. Primal Roar used on Doom. Whitemon trying to get off and over to the side, but this is the mana and the life depleted from DNM. They get the kill on the Prowl, but they'll end up taking out Speed. That Mana Void was right next to him. The right clicks onto the Clockwork, make it a double kill for Tomato. 4 heroes down on the side of DogChamp, as now Void Spirit's on the run. And Tomato thinking about it. He's going to blink forward, and the right clicks are in. The Resonant Pulse is out, as well as the Aether Remnant to lock up Tomato for a second. He's got to simulate, maybe to try and juke. He's going the far
he
way
knew
out.
exactly
but
what he's gonna blink.
he's with him, and he needs to start to retreat under the tier 2 tower with no other lockdown.
A bit too deep. Going in greedy. Did they actually manage to pick up Shard
They got
from
the
that
Shard for Pugna,
Tormentor?
yes.
Okay, so that's something. That's a good way to deal with anti-mage illusions, because you can drop down Nether Ward and use Life Drain on top of it. It immediately kills off all the illusions. Still not very worth it for them. Like, this is the type of a fight that TSM needed.
Dire's top tower is under
Tomato. Blinking
doesn't-
in aggressively.
I have an Aegis this time around. Double Astral Step. Aether Remnant. Is he just dead? The War Stomp. The health from the Voodoo Restoration. Oh, Tomato also
Solar
getting that
Crest.
Solar Crest.
Making the difference. And also look at the item that he's holding. Pupil's Gift. That's extra 330 HP coming out.
Whoa.
Which, whew, you know what they say. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Didn't keep his witch doctor away. Kept him close, but... which was a good thing.
Yeah, he just wrote him a prescription.
It's like one
It's
solar
like-
crest take 2 times a day. 50 milligrams.
Supplement that with some cowbell. You'll be okay. Red 2. He has both steps ready. And Speed's also down here bottom. Do they know? It's slight. They try to catch him. He'll go into the trees. Remnant again. And they don't catch him.
Very close. This time around, Bryle will be able to protect himself. Does have Lincoln Sphere available. In terms of spells that can proc the Lincolns, there's Mystic Snake, Decrypify. Not sure if Moose wants to get close to Ember to be able to proc it. So, Speed might want to go for a different creep. Let's see if he decides to pick it up. But this War Stomp did bring them a lot of value, landing them multiple kills so far. And now
They're going to steal the
TSM
other Tormentor.
will
That's
do
good.
the
To
same
at least get it
thing.
even. Marana gets it. Whitemon still crying. I just want the shard.
It's a decent shard upgrade on Marana. Like, having that extra leap charge is the best one. Damage is still feels very wonky, and the newly added thing to it is doesn't reveal when you use leap during the Moonlight Shadow, so that's okay. And going off onto the high ground, there's no one on side of DogChamp to defend the base with, so they are forced to use the glyph.
1 minute 40 seconds till Roche is back up. They're gonna stay, at least nearby. We'll see how long Ari's here for. Maybe waits for that 28-minute Wisdom Rune. Top tier 2 getting pushed a little bit. We've also got Kasane and Whitemon to put the pressure on to the bottom tier 3. Keep some of these DogChamp team members close.
Let's see if Ari decides to place this sneaky ward near the gates that sees into the enemy base, or if he wants to stick around, wait for that 28-minute wisdom rune that you mentioned.
30 seconds remaining on that one. He's also got Bryle nearby. And Tomato's truthfully just over mid, so there is a chance that they just stay towards the bottom end of the map.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This Dire middle tower is probably gonna die. And that'll be the last outer tower alive for DogChamp.
Big boy Tiny going ham onto this tower. Solar Crest on top of him, Beastmaster Aura.
Has fallen.
Tiny.
Yeah, I always wondered if these ancient granite golems are somehow related to Tiny.
You know, they're granite. I don't know. Tiny also a rock. He smells what the rock is cooking. Tomato. Going for this Abyssal. Has that Vanguard. Now he's got the Abyssal fully completed. I could see, yeah, Smoke, Moonlight Shadow, make a move. Roche is up. And this timing's going to be pretty close. I don't think they're going to start this in time for them to really...
Void Spirit's holding on to Shield Rune, having extra 1000 HP coming into this next fight.
Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, that hits the Medusa. The arrow comes all the way through. Bloody 9. Hit with the Maledict and some damage from the Sleight of Fist. They go to the ulti. It's going to hit all the way over to the Medusa. They'll buy back on this Clockwork. Sleight of Fist once again. Void Spirit waiting for a moment where he can jump in, but they finally have the Clockwork back without Hookshot.
They did not commit with anything on side of TSM, so they could easily come back into it. The big one is like Death Ward, which White One doesn't care too much about it. Arrow, it's Roshan.
35 seconds remaining on that Death Ward, so they're going to have to try and see what they can do in terms of holding out, maybe to have that back up again. Really, the big one is the Maledict with the damage that was coming through. They smoke up on the side of DogChamp. They lay a Remnant down, and this is going to be the Ember going back to base, picking up dust. So knowing that the Glimmers are available, wants to make sure that they keep vision on these heroes and they don't get a chance to escape. But Medusa is in on the pit. Astro step forward, Aether Remnant looking over at the Ember. They're going to War Stomp. They'll pop the Lincolns, the Primal War. They're not going to get the Doom off in time with the BKB being popped here by Speed. He didn't have enough of his namesake to get that Doom off. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. There's the Abyssal. They go to the Mana Void, but he got his mana back, and now they got the War Stomp. They'll throw the Doom. It's going to be on the Anti-Age. He is in so much trouble, does not have buyback. They get Bloody 9. He doesn't have buyback. He used it earlier in this fight, but Void Spirit's going to start to rip apart these heroes. They go to the War Stomp once again. They've got the Infernal Blade. Sleight of Fist, Assimilate. Whitemon's dead. Doesn't have buyback either, but they'll look over at the Doom. They get the kill on a Speed. He's got buyback, but the Aether Remnant lands on a Bryle. They'll get the kill on the Ember.
They're still chasing. Another Astral in a couple of seconds if they want to chase him, but seems like they want to get Roshan. This is Roshan now being on Radiant's side. Cheese and
Dust,
Aegis is available.
Leap, Life Drain, and a Spirit Vessel, but that Mystic Snake goes back to the Medusa. Now 15 seconds till Whitemon's up.
Oof, that
Roshan
Mana
bottomed
Void
during all
not
that.
really hitting Medusa for the full damage. Like, she popped a Magic Stick on top of it and replenished some of her mana. And also having
God, look at
Dandelion
this.
Amulet. I think that's the big one.
So much time spent on Ori that Roche is still down here bottom.
Now they can TP to Outpost. Maybe try to finish off Roche. He's sitting at 70% HP. Medusa, half HP only. But those right clicks from both Medusa and Void Spirit, they hurt a lot. Rocket coming in.
Did they get here in time? They do not have Mirana for 20 seconds.
Bryle's coming in. He needs to be maybe trying to bite a little bit of time.
49 coming over. There's the Maledict. He goes into the cogs. Now starting to run, but they go to the Stone Gaze. That's going to turn Kasane to stone. They've got the root on a speed. There's the Primal Roar. This time with the right clicks, gets Force Staffs onto the high ground. They've also got themselves the Life Drain. That's going to save the Medusa once again. Now they're going for Roche. The War Stomp is in, but Tomato going for Roche, trying to pick up the Aegis, and it's going to be picked up by Tomato, but it's going to be immediately Doom. So Cheese is on the ground. They'll get the Doom off. It'll put Anti-Mage into the second life. He's also got the Cheese. They get the count of 49 to take out Whitemon.
War Stomp again.
They don't have this Beastmaster, and they're not looking like they're going to have Tomato, but I say that he's going to be able to eat the Cheese after using the Mana Void on speed. Aether Remnant doesn't land, goes into the counter spell, and now Tomato on the run.
Whew, these fights are very chaotic. No buybacks being used on side of TSM. They do have an outpost, but not enough to buy back. They don't want to commit. So Tomato, I think this is a big win still for TSM. Managing to get the Aegis off from Medusa, taking the Cheese as well. Some insane numbers. Yeah, 5,000 damage per each hero on side of DogChamp. Void Spirit and Medusa both going ham in the last couple of fights.
They've been able to save him with Force Staffs, with Glimmer Capes. He's just surviving as Anti-Mage makes the full commitment. And now has a double damage, but doesn't have that Aegis to work with.
I feel like
Or
there's
the
going to
Cheese.
be... We'll need to have a nullifier on side of TSM against the Cripify, Force Staff, Resonant Pulse, Glimmer Cape, all these saving tools.
Whitemon waiting for his moment.
He's not going to get it.
In this series, he's not gotten it
Beastmaster
to drop.
is.
He's hoping. He's at the bottom of the net worth. Whitemon praying to the Tormentor gods.
There we go.
Oh, finally.
Voodoo switcheroo.
Switcheroo. Yeah.
It's a good way to like dispel some of these things and also be able to survive longer in a fight. About to crack level 15. Extra cast bounces. Goes for HP talent instead. Wants to be more survivable. I think those cask bounces could make a difference, especially against Medusa. She pops Manta Style and you really don't micro those illusions. Speaking of illusions, there is one available top.
So Illusion Rune picked up. TSM grouping in the top area. They've got a ward on this twin gate. So if anybody tries to come and sneak around behind them, they're going to know.
Radiant's bottom tower is
But instead they're going for the bottom tier 2. Anti-Mage wants that MKB, and that is going to be a big difference maker with this Butterfly already on DNM. So you get yourself an MKB, and Tomato might be able to really start to rip through this Medusa at a quicker pace where he doesn't get the opportunity to survive. TP's in. Everybody.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
As soon as they start hitting the tier 3 tower with that double damage, they pop another glyph. Tomato, he's in trouble now. Got surprised by that Void Spirit silence.
Very dead.
Usually you don't see Aghanim Scepter being built on Void after getting all this like damage items. It's either Aghanim Scepter, maybe like Kaya Sanj, which was much more popular of a build during the previous patch, but he got surprised there. Got silenced, didn't click Manta. Speed follows it up this time with War Stomp and gets the Doom off.
So they want to try and force his buyback. They've got some of these ancient creeps up top and pushing.
They might just go for a push instead. I don't think they want to commit with the buyback, because if Anti-Mage dies after buyback, you kind of lose the game. Medusa has a ton of damage.
Middle tower has fallen.
Medusa also has buyback too. They're going tier 4s. So they're not stopping. They want to go for the tier 4 situation instead and force the buyback out of the
He'll
Anti-Mage.
probably need to wait it out, see how much damage it is, because it's dropping really low. They need to try to disarm her with those Heaven Halberds. They have 2 of those, Beastmaster plus Mirana.
Sleight of Fist coming in, Searing Chains. 15 seconds left on the Anti-Mage. They've got themselves the Seterax as well as a tier 4 tower. But they're not chasing just yet. And still the cask comes out. And the ulti's used, but it's onto illusions. Meanwhile, the top Seterax are taking a lot of damage. This Ancient Creep trying to at least get something out of it, as it's the range racks that goes down. So it's not that great of a racks take right there.
Let's see the win probability. 54% for DogChamp right now. And Anti-Mage was pinging out bottom. After he picks up Wisdom Rune, might TP to an outpost and try to punish speed. With that Abyssal Blade, he won't be able to TP out or get out of the trouble.
A lot of wards placed in the base of TSM as well.
Therefore, your items. I forgot to speak English. My brain
Yeah, I didn't know what that
and
was.
my mouth are not synced. Blah. Was thinking about tier 4 items.
What'd you say instead?
I don't know what I said. Some random words came out.
Timeless Relic picked up for the Ember. Now, you gotta assume both teams want to wait for this Aegis. Spell Prism for the Beastmaster, of course, for the Doom as well. That's putting Doom pretty low on cooldown reduction.
It's still not level 20.
They're taking another Tormentor.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And they get Beastmaster's Shard, so that'll be the...
Top tower has fallen.
They know that there is no glyph available, but seems like Team DogChamp, they want to do the same thing. They have a lot of damage coming out from this Medusa, and this time Medusa does have Lincolns. They're going for it to try to end,
Ember.
actually.
Just dead.
He needs to buy back. They're going to lose the game if he doesn't.
Yeah, they need to buy back. They need to do something. This tier 4 is going to go down straight up. The Beastmaster's going to finally TP back in. They'll go for the throne. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains not connecting. And now I mean, the throne is open. The bottom set of racks are gone on the side of DogChamp. Turning into a little bit of a base race as that Lincolns gets popped thanks to this cast. They go to the ulti. They've got themselves the Maledict. They're going to try and force staff him away, but he doesn't get onto the low ground. They go to the Dissimulate. They've got themselves the Disarmor. It's the Heaven's Halberd that's on the Medusa. Dust into the air, into their eyes, but these illusions starting to take the mana away from this Void Spirit, so not working with a lot of mana at the moment. As the life drain will put him back up to full and then start to give him that mana back. But a
the
five-man
fake
smoke
back.
from DogChamp. Ari's out a little bit too far. They need to back off. Tomato's in very far. They've
No
got the
man's
silence.
on
They
him.
have the War Stomp, and now they go to the Doom. They should be able to get the kill. Does he have buy? He doesn't have buyback. He does
That's
not
game.
have buyback. They'll get the kill on a White Mon. They'll take a Kasane. It is 3 heroes dead. Red 2 is focusing his attention onto the throne. They want to just go for this one. They bought back on the Pugna, but there's the blanket of the War Stomp, and this is the throne exposed, and nothing really able to be done here. Primal Roar, throne, 800 health, now 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, gone. DogChamp forcing a game 3.
Whew, wow, not having buybacks at this stage of the game, and also some of the